morning and welcome to Trading with Larry. It's Larry Benedict, joined by Eric Shamilov, coming to you live on a government shutdown day. Sometimes we say, hey, it's a Fed day, or, we're waiting on, some economic numbers. But today we're waiting to see, in fact, if the government does shut down, which odds are extremely high that that is going to happen. I don't know if you have your poly market on it, but the stock market doesn't care. So you gotta.
83% chance on poly market as we speak.
Yeah, I don't know how fast or quickly those odds update or whatever. Um,
Real time. They're in real time.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's trading. I have no idea. I don't know. I'm not really that reliant because I would think the chances, you were saying 83 and then it went to 65 or whatever. I mean, the chances are higher for sure right now that it's going to happen. But the markets they don't think it's going to happen, they don't believe it's going to happen. They have an insatiable appetite to buy equities, which again, I don't know how that ends. We're leaning a little bit short in my book, but when I say book, my positions, but overall, not that short and using options to have defined risk strategies. And we talked a little bit about it yesterday. The market hasn't.
I have a question, Larry. I have a question. Why would the market care about this? Like historically, since the LPL Financial had a thing where they looked at government shutdowns from the 70s. Since the 70s, the median net change is 0%
No,
for the
that may be true, but the market gets very upset. I mean, I remember trading government shutdown where the market was down over 5% and we stayed closed for, over a month on that one. So I don't
Was
know.
that in
Why would
13?
they care? I mean, I think they should care big time. I mean, you have people not getting paid. You have, parks and recreation closed. You have, TSA. I mean, it causes massive infrastructure problems. So I think that's pretty scary. But I guess it's not to anybody. And you know,
Well, I think it's because they just realize it's nothing more than short term political posturing.
okay. So then let me ask you this question, there, Mister. Okay, I'm going to ask you this. Okay, if they do a deal, is the market going to explode up? Of course.
It's gonna
Of
explode
course.
up regardless. You
Of
throw up
course.
any news
Okay,
on,
wait. It doesn't matter to the downside, and they know it's rhetoric, but once they move it a month or two or whatever, the market rallies. So tell me why that is. Why
well,
would
the
that
casino's got to make money,
not bear it?
right? The casino's got to stay open.
I understand that, but it makes no sense to me. The market hasn't sold off one tick. We're basically at all-time highs into the shutdown. But if somehow they push it 3 months, which they did the last time, and we're in the same situation, that's mega bullish. Everything's mega bullish. I'm telling you, it's really getting scary. There is nothing that you could come up with other than a nuclear attack on U.S. soil at this point that could get anyone to sell one of their stocks, not one,
Yeah.
for massive profits. So whatever, it is what it is. We're adjusted to that environment for now. We have what is known in our business as tail risk. We have tail risk product on, meaning, if the market does really go down, we should do very, very well. But that exposure is capped and limited. But overall, it's the same trade every day. They're upgrading stocks that are 4 trillion to a 7 trillion, even though they didn't hit 5 trillion yet. Their target. They're upping all the ratings. Everything is bullish. And the funny thing is, for the way that we trade at the opportunistic trader, we we don't need a lot. We get a 2 to 3, 4%. Four, we would be crushing it. Okay, but we get a 2 to 3% correction. we should do very well. So we're sitting, we're waiting. It's not happening. It's not happening this morning. Like overnight, it's the same. It feels like. Does it feel like the same trade to you every day? Like the
Yes.
market sells off
Yeah.
over Europe or whatever, and then all day they buy it back. You know, like last night, Nasdaq was down 50, not a lot. It was down 70, maybe on the low, 60, 70. S&P down a little over 20, and then you wake up in the morning and it's right back. You know, they cut half the move, and then they're going to want to buy. I don't know why they want to buy. They want to buy month end, quarter end. Dude, what is going on? They
So what
have.
two stocks is it going to be today that is going to lift everything up? That's all I'm waiting for. Every day, it's just like one or two stocks.
Yesterday was Nvidia, and they sold Apple. You know, today they'll probably buy Apple and buy Nvidia and then sell Nvidia. I don't know, but doesn't it feel weird that like the whole market is run by an electronic computer? That I talked about this on a podcast I did. Like they already know today where the market's going out, unless there's unforeseen news that they can't control. But as long as they can control it, they know where we're going out. You know, they already know before the day starts. So, all of it it's junk, but I mean, the Nasdaq to me just seems so unbelievably ridiculously priced. And this whole AI trade it's overhyped, but you can't get in the way of it. You got to respect it, and you gotta trade. You know, I saw that before we came on the air that basically OPEC said they're going to increase production again. Like I don't understand. They say it like 5 days ago they were increasing production. So like what are they like? Have you ever seen that's like Nvidia coming out and saying, sell our stock, or our earnings aren't going to be that great, blah 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 blah. Like why would the countries that own the natural resource, okay, want to blast the market and oversupply the market? Like what's the other than they did a backdoor deal with Trump in some fashion where he's like blast oil down, sell your oil, and I'll pay you, billions to do it or whatever. But my question is, if you own the natural resource, why do you want to pump it into the market and lower the price? Like if you have $100 crude rather than 50 or $60 crude, you only have to sell half as much, right? So it's I'm trying to get it from you to understand why why are they doing it? What's the point?
Saudi Arabia is a different Saudi Arabia than it was in 2014 when they had to defend their oil industry from the shale oil industry in the U.S. It's different now. They're trying to diversify away from oil, so they're trying to use that money, that oil money, into and pump it into their economy and diversify out. So it's a different OPEC. It's not an OPEC that is going to defend crude oil price like they used to. So
Yeah, I mean, I listen. I'm not really sure. It's you know, it's very mystifying to me that when you have potentially a slowing economy, which I think we have a slowing economy. We could probably agree on that. Economy's slowing, job market's slowing, global growth is probably slowing a bit. Why
it's
would
weird.
you?
I don't know if I could agree with that 100%. It's weird. Like there's some like this AI. Like if it wasn't for AI, we would be in recession. With all the capex, there's almost 400 billion being pumped into
Come on,
capex.
listen. We're gonna get real here, okay? Like we know a company, which we will not name, okay, that says they're AI and all they're using is Chat GBT to
That's right.
to
There's a
pump
lot of those.
AI. What do you mean? That's the whole AI world, dude. I'm telling
I
you,
know.
I've watched this. I've watched this, and you know very
I
well
know
that the
very
AI,
well. It's
people are
all
just using ChatGPT or a better Google, and
and
they're
rebranding
saying they have AI products,
themselves.
and they're scraping the web to find AI, whatever. And I just think I don't see it. But again, markets love it. Today's the end of the quarter. Um, a surprisingly good quarter for the market again. Coming off of April, but I'm thinking, everyone out there was like, especially now, think about how funny it is. It's like seasonally, this is the worst period of the year, and sell in May and go away, or buy Yom Kippur, sell Rosh Hashanah. These holidays, this, that, everything is all BS. Okay, but I think October.
It was always BS.
I'm
It
just
was
saying,
always.
but October is going to be the time. And, you know, listen, I don't know what's going on, and it's definitely bigger than me, and it's bigger than you. This is just a retail frenzy, and the retail is getting help from Citadel and getting help from Jane Street and getting help from all these firms as they see buy orders come in. They're buying. They're staying long. It's funny, like, I was a hedge fund manager for a lot of years, and I know a lot of hedge fund managers, okay? And I know them intimately, and their opinion is very, very, very negative on the market. Probably even more negative than the way I've been over the last 2 to 3 months, which I apologize. I'm just being cautious, but I would say they are. And guess what? If you look at their position book, they're all long. Every one of them is long. Okay, so they're making money, but they're not keeping up with the indexes. But what's going to happen when the market does go down? What's going to happen to them? They're not going to be there. I've seen this. I've seen this multiple times in almost every correction that we've had, and in every calamity. Like, oh wait, every hedge fund manager in the world was long, right? So, market is positioned long. As we speak, Nasdaq, which couldn't even go down this morning, is turned green on the day at 8:42 a.m. Um, there's a looming government shutdown, which doesn't mean anything. What means something? Tariffs don't mean anything, right? What's going on with tariffs? Are they in, out? No one's mentioned tariffs in a month, so I don't know where they are. I don't know if they're in. I don't know if they're out. We don't know the percent. No one knows anything. They're on to, other things. So government shutdown, which used to get the market nervous, and even bulls that I talk to on a daily basis, and I mean bulls, like, fake. I call them fake bears. They're like guys that are, saying they're bearish, but they're bullish. But even bulls were like, "Hey, if the government shuts down, we're gonna have a problem out there." But I guess not today. So, and then what I want to lay in your lap is the same question I asked you earlier, which is why, if they push this down the road 3 months, they're not going to get a deal done. They may push it, another month, another 3 months. Why is that bullish? What makes that bullish? Even though we never sold off it, what makes it bullish? What does that tell you?
I don't think it's anything. I think it's a non-event to start with. So
Okay, well, then you should make a fortune because the puts, they've come in, but they're bid to the sky for Thursday. Okay, so you can make a lot of money, dude. You don't even have to come to work. You can sell $100 down out of the money puts and just freaking gawk in your neighborhood walking around. Okay, so
those,
you're right.
those
It doesn't mean
those
anything. Why are they bidding these options up to the sky? I mean, they're extremely high. Extremely high. I'm just telling you.
puts are
So
you looking at?
we're looking at puts all down the board. I don't know, 80 out of the money, 100 out of the money, just bids, whatever. It doesn't matter. They were way bid yesterday. They are not as bid today. But what I'm telling you is, you think it's a non event, there's money to be made, right? Why don't you sell some put spreads?
Yeah, but at the same time, I think the market is definitely a little bit overbought,
A
at
little, a
least.
little, a little, a little. Nasdaq being 50% off the low, and S&P being 35, 40% off the low. That's not overbought. I
I
mean,
don't know. I'm
without a
not seeing
1% correction.
hold up. I'm not seeing these puts bid so much. I mean, 6,600 puts for October 2nd are trading at 950. Is that a lot?
Yeah, I think so. Dude, we haven't had a down 100 day in 4 months. Okay. So I don't know. The betting odds seem pretty good that that's very, very high. I would say no. You don't
I
think
mean,
that's high?
for
You think the market could go down 100? I mean, I don't, are you looking at cash or are you looking at futures?
cash. Yeah,
Okay,
cash.
so that's 60 points. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a little high, nothing crazy, but the market can't go down. You know,
Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy.
dude,
That's my point.
what are you talking about? Go down another 50 points, and they're probably $3, $4. I mean, that's a lot. No,
440.
yeah, that's high as hell. I mean, dude, we haven't had a down 100 point day since basically May. When was the last 100 point down close? I'll bet it was in April. Okay. So can you find it? Yeah, we're gonna look for the last down 100 point close. So you're gonna have to go back 5 months. Okay. I don't know. You just went through a whole diet, Bob, that this doesn't mean anything. And so you should be punting those things, or as we say, punting them or selling them as many freaking times as you can, and you're gonna be wearing gold, by Thursday. I mean, come on.
It's interesting. Now I'm looking at the October 2nd pricing, and the butterfly pricing, like 50 with 50 point wide, looks pretty attractive. I got to tell you.
Dude, one thing I'll tell you about butterflies is, all these butterflies are cheap. I know a lot of guys in the business that did a butterflies and retired off buying cheap butterflies. And what a
Yeah.
butterfly is you buy one option that's probably out of the money. And let's say it's calls. Let's say the index is at, I'm making it up, at 66. Well, it's at
Well,
60. It's
let's
at
just use this
66.60.
example.
You buy the 60,
Real life.
66, the 6,700, 6730, 6760, something like that. Or you can even bring it into a 15 point fly. And then you make money if the market closes in between your strikes. So it's not a bad thing, but most butterflies go out of the money. You had one on yesterday. You said you were killing it, and then it went to like zero.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and that happened like 5 times during the day. It like I had the butterfly on. It's 3x. Now I'm looking for like a 10x trade on this one on these butterflies sometimes. You
Why?
know,
Why? Because you have to be, dude. Dude. That's why this podcast is so beautiful, dude.
yeah,
It's almost like Republican and Democrat. You represent the other side. I know you do 10x in one day. I mean, come on, dude. I've
I'm
worked.
I'm
I've
looking
worked.
for that. You
I've
just said a
worked.
guy retired. You just said a guy retired on
He didn't
butterflies.
retire on one butterfly. He did butterflies for 30 years and then he
You can't
retired.
retire on
Okay.
one 10x
He
trade,
didn't
dude.
make it on timeout. He didn't make it on one butterfly. He was
Oh,
a butterfly trader. He
how
traded
many
it. That
butterflies
was his
did he get?
career. Okay. I
Was
mean,
he catching these butterflies with a net
come on,
every
dude.
day, 10xing?
Mhm. Okay. So we got, guess what? The last 100 point down day in SPOOs was August 1st. And then that was just timeout. I want my audience to understand. That's August 1st, one time. And then before that, it was in April. So we've had one down 1% day since April, basically. I mean, that's not a little crazy in your mind. And that's not a bubble. Like, come on, gold moved 100 points today. It's had like a 4%, 5% range in a day. Okay. Oil, looking at it just today, is down 2.5% on the day. Okay. Currencies moving like crazy. Bonds go up and down. This is the only market in the world, okay, that doesn't ever. It actually, you know what? It's good for the people that are long investors, um, you know, um, but literally, it's weird. I mean, listen, like these junky day traders, like, these guys that are sitting in chat rooms, they're just looking for the next idea, to, jam up stocks or jam down stocks. But really, in reality, it's a weird thing because even though we've had a really good quarter this quarter and stocks are up, like what's Nvidia up for the quarter, Thomas? I don't even think it's up that much. I mean, yeah, it's a lot, but it's not a lot in the world that these investors live in because they're doing $2,000, $8,000. Like I'm telling you, my kids are trading. I don't know how, but they're trading, and I wouldn't think their accounts have a ton of money in it, but they're involved, and they were never involved. So I think we have that all over the place. And these moves, they're looking for, dude, you said it straight out. I actually wish we could photograph your face when you were saying, I want a 10x it in a day. 10x in a day is just unbelievable. My question to
I
you,
should be hold up. I should be looking for that when volatility is low, the market is complacent. I should be looking for that.
why?
Like, what's the
What's
problem?
wrong with making, dude, listen, what you got to do, and I've traded flies, forever and ever and ever. What I like to do is when the fly is getting in the money, where the middle section of the fly, the butterfly, is opening up, so the wings are opening up, and the bottom line is, um, I like to leg out a part of it. Like, so I would maybe take off the front end that's in the money a little. If I had 100 by 200 by 100, maybe I take off 30, lock in some profit. I mean, that's what you got to do there. You know,
Well, yeah, of course, right? So that's just like you don't even have to like play around with the legs. You could just reduce your size. If you have 100 contracts on, take off 20 once
So
it gets.
guess what? Time out. This is what I'm telling you is the issue in the market. Everyone thinks this is a great quarter. Okay. You know what Nvidia is up for the quarter? And you got to remember, it rallied 3% yesterday. You know what it's up for the quarter, or 2%? It's up 2% for the quarter, dude. 2% for the quarter.
Yeah,
Okay.
but you got, well, look at AIQ. What's AIQ up for the quarter?
I have no idea. We're going to have to look at it. What's AIQ?
Oh, I got it right now. By the
I
way,
got
Thomas,
my crack analyst, Touchdown T. He doesn't want to talk today. He's being very quiet, but he's out there. He's tired. So, it's it's just whatever. Listen, I'm just telling you, I see it in Bitcoin. I see it, dude. There's no real money in these frothy names that are fully valued at high prices. Like if you buy Nvidia at 181, like yeah, you might make money and it may go to 190. I mean, at some point you have a $5 trillion market cap. A six. I mean, at some point it becomes ridiculous. I mean, right now it's more than the gross GDP of most nations. I mean, come on, a chip company. So you know, at a chip company that 5 years ago no one even knew existed. You know that no one knew it existed. So wait a second. AIQ is what? The AI? The
I'm
AI?
trying to I'm trying to confirm what you guys are saying about Nvidia. You said it's up 2% for the quarter.
From July 31st to today.
Oh, well, that's
That
not
is.
for the quarter.
What do you mean? Why are you going from July 31st? The end of the quarter is June 30th, right? All right, whatever. I'm apologizing on air for my crack analyst. Oh,
Actually,
AIQ, you going from June 30th? Oh my God,
actually,
dude, you are.
actually, Nvidia has outperformed AIQ for the quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what are you so pumped up about AIQ? I mean, AIQ is up. Yeah, it's amazing. It's the greatest
Portfolio,
thing. It's the
it's
greatest
bench.
show on, dude. It's the greatest show on turf. okay, like the Rams back in the day. It's the greatest show on turf, and it's up like 10, 15%. Okay. I mean, it's amazing. Don't get me wrong, but
Portfolio, dude. It's a portfolio. To be up 10-15% is a lot.
of crazy names that are in the forefront that all you hear about every single day is AI.
It's
AI.
not crazy
AI.
names. AIQ has a lot of brand household names in there. We lost you. Okay.
Yeah, I'm right here, dude. I'm
All
listening.
right.
You said AIQ has names, and then you stopped talking.
No, it has a lot of household names. It's not crazy names. It's household names.
All right. All right.
But by the way, the AI bubble that you say we're in, it's not just retail. It's not just retail pumping this bubble. Private equity is also deeply pumping this bubble, deeply entrenched in this. By the way,
I understand that, but you got Silver Lake Partners, let's say, great AI, a great private equity company. They're buying everything. Okay, I've seen this before. I'm just telling you. This is, listen. I saw this. Do you realize that I have a business where individual I buy individual securities of non-public company. We buy employees out of their stock. Okay. It was the greatest business. Okay. We were killing it from the Facebook IPO for like 5 years. And guess what happened, Eric? Everything imploded in 2022. Imploded. Okay. We got stuck in 3 or 4 deals that are starting to come public. Klarna being one of them. That deal's in half. Okay. We have Kraken, which has done well, which is a crypto exchange, which we're up money on. Maybe, another one. We're down money all over the board. Why do you think you're rewarded with money? We did amazing, and then all of a sudden we got caught in a couple of deals, and it wasn't so great. What I'm not understanding is people can't handle a down day. I'm just telling you, they can't handle a down day. I saw it back a month ago in Palantir when it traded down to 140 and Andrew left, said it was going to 40. I don't know whatever happened with that, but he said it was going to 40. And my friend is calling me up. He's long it at 100 and it's trading 140 and he's freaking out on the phone like he's going to go out of business. What do I do? It could go to 40, blah, blah, blah. Right? Guess what he did? Guess what he did?
he sat in it.
Exactly. And I haven't gotten a phone call since. Okay. But I guarantee you, when it tanks again, I'm going to get 20 phone calls from 20 different people. How do I hedge? What do I do? None of these guys.
This is
They're
pure. You
this
know
is
what?
a
It's
paper. This is a
pure.
paper tiger market. It's a paper tiger market, dude. It's a paper tiger.
It's why all the like a lot of these recent Nobel Prize laureates in economics, they're all none of them come from finance. A lot of them come from like the world of psychiatry because there's so much like behavioral aspects to this market. So we as traders we rely on trading principles, right? And sometimes they don't adhere. It's a market that
Oh, they always, dude, they always adhere. They just
yeah,
may not
eventually,
adhere for a little
eventually.
bit of time. And you got to realize something for the players out there right now. Every day is everything. Okay. Every day is everything. Okay. If their stocks don't go up every day, they're angry. They're freaking out. I'm just telling you what's going on out there, and they have an insatiable appetite. Dude, I've seen it. Listen, the one thing, you could laugh at me, whatever. I've been through 10 of these cycles, at least, maybe more. Okay. I've seen this. This is different because what's happened is, and I got about another 7 minutes here, so I want to get a little bit to the markets in a second. But I have seen this, but I've never seen this to this level. And the reason why is everybody's got a cell phone. Everybody's gambling on their cell phone. Okay. Look at the volumes. Look at look at everything. Look at everything. You know, look at everything. And it's just crazy that this is going on this way. The bottom line is, I don't know, like, you're a product of the environment. You want to make 10x, right? I mean, to me, I just want to make a positive P&L,
Whatever.
grind it up. I'm just
I
saying,
also want to
listen,
grind it.
dude,
For
I'm
that
just
one
saying,
trade, yeah, I wanted to make 10x.
right, which is crazy.
I've
Okay.
seen you try to make 10x on a trade also. Stop it.
I have never made 10x on a trade. I don't think in
Really?
40 years, ever.
No.
Never,
All
never.
right.
Now, the reason why you want to make 10x is because you're putting it on 5 or 10 or 20 times. I'm putting that trade on 500 times. So I don't have to make 10x. My P&L on a dollar basis will be more. So that's the difference. I feel comfortable in sizing up my position to a level, okay, with defined risk that I don't have to make 10x. If I double my
Yes.
position, I'm
What does
making
it
a lot
matter
of
how many
money.
contracts I'm trading? I'm looking for a certain percentage of my book as a target on a daily basis. So
I,
I have other positions
I
around
get it.
that book.
I get it. It's a different way to look at it. You're putting on a small, but don't you understand? That's what
Exactly.
but that's
Exactly.
this
I'm putting on
environment, Eric. Eric,
that.
that's this environment. That's this environment. Some guy, Joe Schmo, is buying 300 shares of Nvidia. He needs it up 20 today to make $6,000. Okay.
That's a
I'm
whole
not
other
saying that's a
issue.
bad number, but that's what they need. They need to find, that's why these stocks are flying around out of chat rooms all over the place, and they go from 20 to 250 in a day. Okay. And they're not even real companies. So what I'm saying is, if you sized your position a little better or differently, you wouldn't have to 10x. You could get in, get out. The way I look to do it is I risk a certain amount of capital, okay? And I want to I want to just make money, and that money is not even really much more than a percent to the P&L that I have, to the capital that I have. So I do it a little bit differently. I understand what you're doing. How many flies did you have on? 5, 10?
No, I had 15 on, but I had a whole portfolio of futures long short on top of it.
I
So
understand, but you had 15 flies on. I
I'm just
mean,
trying to accentuate my book with these option positions,
I
whereas
get
you,
it. I get it.
that's your position.
But on 15 flies, I don't know how wide the fly is, but you're making a couple grand. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but that's why you want to 10x it. Okay. And I get it. And listen to me. I'm not saying anything about you or your trades, but that is a product of this environment. And
No,
what I mean,
you're completely missing the point. Again, you're
what's
missing the
the
point.
point?
The point is that when I put on these butterflies, for me personally, I have it as an accent to a much bigger book. So yeah, I want that position to 10x because I'm putting on a very small
But why
sub.
wouldn't you look at that position separately from your book? Like for me,
Yeah, you have your
I would like
position.
to show my positions. Okay. I mean, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 positions on right now in just SPX. 18
Yeah,
different.
that's your whole book. All your
Okay.
whole book is options. So
Right.
you size
No,
them up.
I have some equities. I have Tesla, I have Nvidia, I have some equities, but that is
Actually, the way you're trading options in your book is as a substitute for futures.
no, I don't listen.
Yes.
Futures are
You
um
use it like people use futures. You're just using a different product.
I would say
Whereas what I do is I actually use options together with futures.
Okay, well, it's the same thing as me using cash and options. It's the same thing. If I use the underlying SPX or the SPY, if I'm doing SPY or Q, same difference. But my point is that people need exponential moves on a daily, okay, and maybe it doesn't pan out. Maybe it just doesn't pan out that way. I mean, listen, we've gone a long time here without any down move. you
By the
know
way, for the folks that are listening, for your subscribers, here's an example of a butterfly overlaid on the SPX index. And this is the one we were talking about for October 2nd. So, for instance, this first leg, 6,600, that put us trading at 950. You buy one of those, you sell two of, let's say, the 6550, which is 50 points down. That one's trading at 450. So if you sell two of those, right, your net debit so far is 50 cents. But then to make it defined risk, you got to add the second wing of the butterfly. So you buy a put, let's say another 50 below for 225. So your total outlay is 275 a contract or
well,
thereabout.
why don't you? I like to do
Just an
it, and I
example.
like
Just as an
to I like
example.
to take my bottom leg, the one you're buying, and lower it down. So I would go, you
Like
know,
this.
yeah, way lower, and then I take my cost into the dollar area, and I own that fly for $1. Yes, if it goes down a lot, you know, is whatever.
I don't
But
know. I feel so. First of all, you taught me this, by the way. You're the one who taught me. So full credit to you on this.
thank you.
You feel comfortable doing that? Like, have you ever
Oh
had
yeah,
the situation where a profitable butterfly turns real negative for
yeah,
you?
a lot of times, but a lot of times it gives me
How do you
leeway to sit in the position a lot longer because I don't. You have a $2.75 cost to hit up in the middle. You know, I don't want that cost. I don't think the market. I'm in today. I would not do that because I think the market can sell off. But if I didn't think the market could sell off 100 points in a day, like listen, we haven't had a down 100 point spook close or a percent since August 1st, and then before that, April. So if you lowered your cost on this butterfly every time you did it over the last 4 months, you're saving 100 points. You're saving crazy numbers. So yeah, I like to do it that way. But
Yeah,
I gotta get going here. I actually have a meeting. I apologize, but I just want to, touch on the markets on a macro level. Bonds are flat. Um, Yields are down to 412. They're in no man's land. Dollar still a little bit weak, but firming. Oil, I guess, is the talk of the day. Again, production increase. We talked about that. It's down a little over $1. Hasn't
commodities
broken.
in general are getting hit today, big.
What is?
Commodities in general are getting hit today.
Yeah, I mean, gold is down. I mean, it was up a lot, but it's down. What else do we have?
I'm
Really,
actually
Europe is flat, So, I guess we're going to sit all day. I'm sure they're going to put out fake headlines. They did a deal or they pushed a deal. Be careful for that. And
I don't know. JD Vance said that there probably will be a shutdown.
I understand that, but that's not a fake rumor and headline. You can get that at any time from, I don't know who has the power to put that out, but they can put that fake headline out whenever they want. But again, I just want to understand why not shutting the government. No one is worried right now. The market's flat. But if they don't shut the government, it's bullish. And I'm just trying to understand why. You know. Anyway, I'm going to leave it on that note.
Has news ever really mattered? I mean, come on.
Yeah, of course it
It's all
does.
it's all just an excuse.
What do you mean? I mean, news matters. I mean, in our
One day,
market, it only matters for a snippet of time, but news mattered. It used to always matter. Like if we had a bad unemployment number, we'd be talking about that for 2 to 3 weeks, not 2 to 3 minutes. This is a market that doesn't really care about anything. I mean, you know, like it's, the JOLTS number is coming at 10. Somehow that's going to move. Dude, what I don't understand is the JOLTS number was horrendous last month, and we didn't even have a down 1% day. So JOLTS doesn't mean anything. Nothing means anything. And just remember this for yourself. When the government shuts down, there will be no numbers. So Friday's unemployment will not come out. Bullish, right? Everything's bullish. It's,
Well, by definition, that's bullish. That
of
we're not going
course.
to have any
Anyway,
bad news.
listen, I'm running. I wish everyone a great trading day. I apologize. I have to leave early. We'll be back to you guys tomorrow. Good luck trading today. Watch for some headlines. And if the government does shut, I do not think that's positive. So be careful. Talk to you.